Welcome to Empowered Freedom. For more information and to connect with us via social media, visit paulctiarena.com.
Hey Paul, I was just wondering if sparkling waters and other carbonated water type beverages are approved, and if there's anything that we should kind of watch out for those if they are. Thanks.
Oh my God, I love it. So Chris, that was a great question. You must have been reading my mind because I've been wanting to do a video and a post on this for some time now. All right, so thank you, Chris, for that question. You're looking extremely intelligent and vibrant and healthy as always. So thankful to have you as part of our team. And so let's address this question about sparkling water. And I think the question is, assuming that the water source is a decent quality, like, is sparkling water an acceptable piece of this, making this whole health, vibrancy, optimal health thing work in a modern world? And I'd say yes, it is. All right, depending. All right. Now, before we get into that, I just want to put out there, everything that we put out is from the heart with the intention to help us make health work in a modern lifestyle. If we lived in a pristine environment where all of our food came from the land, our water came from, ground sources and other things, and it was naturally pristine and naturally filtered and naturally mineralized, and all our foods were without contaminants, and we didn't have any packaged things and all that, like, that would be awesome, but that's not the reality of what we have, right? We have a modern world. We have things that we can't avoid, and so we have to make some concessions, right? And I don't take that lightly at all. Like, it is my job and my responsibility with all of you to do my due diligence when it comes to these things. And when I put information out there, there's been a lot of thought that's gone into it. And we've got a lot of experience with it. So like when someone asks me a question, or even if it's in the SHT progression or some of these advanced programs, like, I don't just Google something and go to healthmamas.com and read a blog post and put it out to you guys. Like, this is stuff based on hundreds, bordering on 1,000 people that we've worked with over the past few years. I have a list of cohorts that I stay in touch with on a regular basis, and there's 2 that I talk to almost daily. So any question or any topic or anything, I'm always running it by them. I have research that I look into. When I say research, I don't mean I Google. I mean I go into the scientific literature and look for information revolving around whatever this topic is. And then I also always go to the anthropological texts and resources that I use to see if I can find some kind of an evolutionary perspective or history on whatever it is that I'm researching. And then I combine all that with my gut instinct and intuition and my experience in working with people over the years, and I put together guidelines that I think are extremely reasonable. And if anybody has any questions about it, like how I came to that, I think I could make a pretty good argument for why we do this stuff. So I'm the person that's out here doing this for you guys, okay? It's all from the heart with a good intention. I just want to help us. That's it, all right? If you have any questions, issues, concerns, anything like that, just bring them up, ask me. All right, so again, the big question here is if water quality is good, is sparkling water okay? And we'd say yes. I'd say nothing quenches the thirst better than some ice cold sparkling water on a hot day like today, or even better, some ice cold kombucha, some homemade kombucha, which I have some. I typically sell some. Sometimes that's in and out of process, but we're also going to do a fermentation class on it. So also, if you get sparkling water that's been mineralized, then you get these bioavailable minerals, and it's not just refreshing, but it's actually really good for you. So carbonation doesn't have, there's some circles that would say, maybe it has some impact on bone remodeling and the ability to assimilate minerals and put them in the right places in the body, and that's just not true. We've actually seen a lot of research done where we've followed men and women drinking a significant amount of sparkling mineralized water on a daily basis, and they followed them for months and saw absolutely no loss in bone mass or in the body's ability to bone remodel. And then also, it could be slightly corrosive to tooth enamel, but that's if you're consuming it all day, every day, and that's the only water that you drink. And then it's even then it's only slight. And what we're recommending with sparkling water is that it is an addition to your, or supplement to your daily water consumption. And then it seems to help with digestion and constipation, and we think that that's because of the mineral content of a lot of these mineral waters. If you do drink it with alcohol, you need less alcohol because for some reason, like, it makes your alcohol go further. I'm not sure how that works, but I've read several different things and some people that have referenced that. And so carbon dioxide is not anything to be afraid of. It's something we breathe out on a daily basis. And if we're using this to supplement our daily water consumption, I think it's perfectly appropriate. Okay, so in theory, sparkling water is fine. Then the big question is, let me get a little total body shot here. Y'all seen Conan yet? Hey. All right, so then the question is, what about these specific brands? So let's look at Pellegrino first. One of my favorites, all right, Pellegrino. The brand is almost unmistakable. You know, it's one of Italy's like biggest products. And so their bottling process takes place inside of one plant that they built in 1961. And this plant operates 24 hours a day, and it distributes to over 120 countries worldwide. And they place quality control measures not just on the water itself, but also on the bottling process, the cans, the bottles, the caps, the cardboard that everything goes into. It's actually a pretty respectable operation there. And then what I really like about them is when you go to their website, they have a mineral report and a water quality report. And you can go through and look at all the different toxins. The majority of them you'll see ND, which is non-detectable or not detected. And their water quality report is 2015, which is pretty recent. Okay, so that's one of the things you'd be looking for is a recent water quality report. So I'd say Pellegrino gets thumbs up for sure as one of the top picks for sparkling water. Now, Perrier, another great brand. Very popular, and the Perrier brand comes from water that they claim is over 100 million years old. The source is south of France, and it has naturally occurring minerals, and it has a naturally occurring effervescence to it. So what they found with these springs, because of the way that the water was heated and pressurized, it maintained some effervescence. And so what they initially did was actually bottle that water, and that's what became Perrier. It was naturally effervescent. They didn't have to add any carbonation afterward. Now they claim that they bottle the water and they capture the gases and things that come out from the spring, and then they combine those in their plant, which I don't understand how that works, and I couldn't find any more detailed information on it, but it sounds really cool. So, but even if they did use, carbonated CO2 or something, that wouldn't be a bad deal. But anyway, it sounds interesting. It's one of the first main brands to actually make it into U.S. supermarkets. I think it is the first sparkling mineralized water that made it into U.S. supermarkets. And when you look at their website, they have a mineral report, water quality report, and again, that's updated as of 2015. And so, Perrier gets a go for me. All right, so the next one that we found to be relatively popular is going to be Mountain Valley sparkling water. Mountain Valley sparkling water is located in the Wichita Mountains, surrounded by about 2,000 acres of protected forest, and it's been protected since 1871. So they have minimal roads. They don't have any, oil processing plants or any of that kind of stuff. Like it's a really pristine area, and it looks like they try to keep it a big secret. And then same thing, they did not disclose their water quality report on their website, but as soon as I emailed them, within 15 minutes I got a response, and it was a full water quality report, mineral content report, and it was updated 2015 as well. So the Mountain Valley spring water is a great option as well, right? And a lot of this, maybe your budget will dictate it. Now, Whole Foods. When we do our Whole Foods shopping tour, we've got Whole Foods sparkling waters. And I always recommend them because they're cost effective, and they're infused with flavors from natural fruits and citruses and stuff. So, but what concerns me is that Whole Foods doesn't list any of their information on their website, And then it was also difficult to get a response from the representative about the water quality issue. So I went back and forth with her a couple of times before she finally sent something. And even then, it was only after it was, I think, a week of lag time, and I reached out one more time. And the information they sent me it looked ancient. It was from 2013, like a bad scanned copy of something, and it just didn't feel right or look very professional. So supposedly their water comes from Spain. And aside from that, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to decipher. I mean, there is a water quality report, but again, it's 2013, and usually you're looking for something a little bit more up to date. So to be honest, Whole Foods concerns me, so I don't think I'm going to be buying that anymore. All right, another really popular one is going to be LaCroix. I think I'm saying that right, LaCroix. Hey, sit down. All right, so LaCroix, they do use tap water, and they use tap water at different plants throughout the United States. And the reality is a lot of these purified drinking waters, like, the one that we have here in Las Vegas, which is real water, like, they all come from tap water, but then they purify it. So that makes it okay. So just because it comes from tap water doesn't mean you're drinking tap water, because once it goes through distillation or reverse osmosis and then carbon filtration, deionization, ozonation, and all this other stuff, it makes it relatively clean and pure water. So they use tap water, and it's sourced throughout the United States, and they treat their water using reverse osmosis and deionization. I can go into a little bit more detail about what deionization is, but I think I'm going to do that in a separate water quality post. And then their flavors are derived from what they call natural essence oils extracted from certain fruits, which correspond to their different flavors. There's no sugars, no artificial ingredients, no artificial flavors, or any of that kind of stuff. So that term, fruit or essence of fruit, I don't know, it just kind of sounded weird to me. But, making this work in a modern lifestyle, I'd say LaCroix, because it comes from a clean source, and of course we're okay with carbonation. Maybe the flavors aren't of the best quality, I'm not absolutely positive or sure on that. I would say that it would be a fine complement to everything else that we're doing, okay? And then there's an option to get a SodaStream, and I'm going to experiment with this. So a SodaStream, you can actually carbonate your own water, so you can start with super clean filtered water, mineralize it, maybe even add some essential oils or something to it, and then carbonate it yourself. And I think that would be actually one of the best options, and I'm going to try to do that. Ooh, looked like I had a light shift or something there. Okay, so that's a summary of the popular water options out there. If I had to rank these, I would say Pellegrino would be my top pick. All right, and then close seconds would be Perrier and Mountain Valley Spring Water. Whole Foods, I don't think I'm going to mess with anymore. LaCroix, I like it because they have the flavors, but if I end up making my own, I'm going to make my own flavors, right? So that's how I'd rank those things. And here's what I want you to do going forward, all right? Any other brands, just do a little bit of research. If there's something that we didn't list here, go to their website, poke around, look for water quality. You're looking for something that's naturally filtered through spring water, that has some kind of a pristine environment, and that they can make some kind of claims about how, it's just not messed with and filtered through all these different kinds of sediment and stuff like that. I mean, that would be a good thing. Or if it's processed through reverse osmosis, carbon filtration, ozonation, deionization, and some other things. So you're looking for quality, and then you're looking for water quality reports, and those need to be recent, okay? So if whatever year you're in, I would say at a minimum the year before that is what you're looking for a water quality report. And then make sure that the majority of your water comes from, you can also go to ewg.org and look for waters and bottled waters and sparkling waters and do a little research there. Now, the only problem with EWG is they rank these bottled waters based on labels and also based on water purification methods. And so by definition, a lot of spring water is not purified. It's just taken straight from the spring, and you're hoping that spring is actually a really good pristine source. All right, so if you see a bad ranking on EWG, unless they specifically say something about toxins detected or something like that, I wouldn't necessarily say that means that it's a bad option, because they're ranking it based on some other criteria. All right, and then make sure that your water comes from quality sources every time that you drink it. Your daily water intake should be majority clean filtered water that you mineralize with a pinch of unrefined Himalayan salt. A bonus would be some concentrates and some vitamin C and some other stuff. But you want to make sure the majority of the water that you consume is filtered water, clean water. And then you can always use sparkling water as a condiment, as a complement to help, give you some variety, to entertain guests, a mid-afternoon, like a couple swigs, like I love it, okay? And I think that's it. And And I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with us today. For more information, visit our main website at paulctiarena.com, where you can shoot us a message and also connect with us via social media. Thank you so much.